James Dean was a great actor with a legendary life that ended as any legendary life should, with a bang and mysteries left behind, creating a myth, Dean-agers, and much more. But at the core of everything, at the heart of Dean mania, was his face. And that is why it is important to examine it closely. His face, like any exceptional one, isn't a perfect 10 out of 10, and it shouldn't be. Typically, an iconic look of any renowned person comes not solely from visible facial feature harmony or perfect golden ratios, but from other equally important factors. As you'll see later, it ranks decently but still below many male models of different times. However, this did not stop it from, without any exaggeration, changing Hollywood and the fashion industry of its time. In this regard, James Dean could be on par with Marlon Brando, whose face equally transformed things. Let's examine what made Dean's face so influential. Looking at photos from his brief career, we can analyze his features in detail. He possessed thick, positively tilted eyebrows that hung low over almost almond-shaped eyes. These eyes were set slightly closer together than classical beauty standards preferred, creating an intensity that became his trademark. His facial structure showed three balanced thirds, with prominent high cheekbones and a strong jawline made visible by his naturally lean face. His lips were full and well-proportioned, harmonizing with his nose. Using modern facial analysis metrics, Dean's face would score around 8.3 out of 10, with a facial harmony rating of 84%. These numbers might seem surprisingly low for a Hollywood legend, but herein lies a fascinating possibility. Dean's imperfections may have been key to his appeal. A face displaying perfect symmetry and classical proportions can appear almost too perfect, creating distance between the star and their audience. Dean's slight deviations from the ideal made him more relatable while remaining undeniably attractive. This relatability factor became crucial when we consider his physical presence beyond his face. Standing at 5 feet 7 inches, Dean was notably shorter than most leading men of his time. His build was slender rather than muscular, and he often slouched, creating a distinctive silhouette that differed markedly from Hollywood's typical athletic male ideal. Yet these supposed flaws became part of his appeal, especially to teenage audiences who saw themselves reflected in his less-than-perfect but magnetic presence. The cameras of the 1950s played their own role in crafting Dean's image. The film and photography technology of the era tended to add visual weight to faces, which actually enhanced Dean's bone structure, creating an even more striking on-screen presence than he possessed in real life. This technical quirk helped cement his visual legacy, though it means the Dean we see in films and photographs isn't quite the same as the one his contemporaries knew in person. Dean's facial and charismatic impact extended far beyond mere appearances in movies and TV, giving rise to an unprecedented cultural phenomenon, the Dean-agers. These passionate teenage fans emerged in the mid-1950s, drawn to his portrayals of misunderstood youth in films like Rebel Without a Cause and East of Eden. This wasn't just another fan following. It marked the first time Hollywood recognized teenagers as a distinct and powerful demographic. Before Dean, the entertainment industry largely ignored youth-specific marketing and storytelling. These Dean-agers didn't just admire their idol. They studied and copied his every detail. His fashion choices matched his straightforward face. No complicated patterns, just simple striped or plain t-shirts, often paired with leather jackets and straight jeans. For cooler weather, he chose practical pieces like military jackets and peacoats. His footwear stayed equally uncomplicated. White sneakers, loafers, or biker boots, depending on what suited the moment. Along with Marlon Brando, Dean transformed how young people dressed. Take jeans, for example. Before him, they belonged to miners, cowboys, and manual workers. But Dean made them cool, turning workwear into a fashion statement. His hairstyle followed the same pattern. The classic 50s teddy boy look with Braille cream at the sides and that characteristic quiff became the standard for young men everywhere. Dean-agers didn't stop at copying his looks. They lived by his words too. His famous quote, "Live fast, die young, and leave a good-looking corpse," became more than just a catchphrase. When Dean died at 24 in a car crash, he turned those words into reality, Some fans were so devoted they spoke of wanting to meet the same fate when they reached that age, a dark testament to his influence. This intense connection between Dean and his followers likely wouldn't have happened with someone more classically handsome. Those slight imperfections we analyzed earlier, the closer set eyes, the facial harmony score of 8.3, made him feel real to teenagers dealing with their own insecurities. Had he lived another decade, his hard-living lifestyle would have inevitably altered that magnetic face. The smoking, drinking, and wild parties would have taken their toll, just as they did with many of his contemporaries. But fate had other plans. His early death preserved not just his youth, but the power of his slightly imperfect beauty. Modern actors still try to capture his essence. Take James Franco's Golden Globe-winning performance in the 2001 biopic. In his movie titled simply James Dean, Franco didn't just copy the actor's mannerisms. He studied that distinctive look, trying to read deeper than just facial landmarks, trying to recreate a unique mix of vulnerability and intensity hidden beneath plain view. And he probably succeeded. His performance was praised by critics, and he won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a miniseries or television film. These days, people are much more interested in exploring all sides of Dean's life story, especially his relationships. Back in the 1950s, Hollywood wasn't ready to talk about stars who love both men and women, but Dean was actually one of the first actors whose life helped start these conversations, even if people couldn't talk about it openly then. Now that times have changed, we're seeing more books and movies telling the full story of who Dean really was. Take the book Jimmy, The Secret Life of James Dean. It shows how dealing with his sexuality affected both his personal life and his career in Hollywood. As for more recent days, there is a new James Dean biopic in the works. The film, titled Surviving James Dean, will be written and directed by Guy Guido. It is based on the 2006 memoir by William Bast, which details his relationship with James Dean. The biopic will explore Dean's personal life, including his rumored gay romance with Bast, and aims to capture the essence of the Hollywood legend once again. Guido explained his interest in making this movie. "I have been a fan and historian of James Dean since I was 18 years old, so I knew about his friend Willie, even when information about their relationship was straightwashed by the Hollywood machine. As a filmmaker, I love telling the story of a celebrity's life in their coming-of-age period. As a gay man, I was particularly drawn to Bast's unique story. As you can see, even today, many decades later, Dean's influence remains strong in modern culture. Some of his biggest fans are the age his grandkids would be, and they regularly visit his hometown of Fairmount, Indiana. There, an iconic museum and gallery display large collections of his personal belongings and memorabilia. Dean's films, particularly Rebel Without a Cause, continue to be studied and referenced in film and media studies. His portrayal of teenage angst and rebellion set a template for future generations of filmmakers and actors. His ability to express complex emotions through subtle gestures and facial expressions was groundbreaking. His portrayal of characters who were often misunderstood and conflicted resonated deeply with audiences, and such emotional intensity has inspired generations of actors, including Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Leonardo DiCaprio, who have all cited Dean as an influence. A rebel, a youth, a lover of both men and women, James Dean never openly identified himself. All of this and much more looks back at us from his photos. His eyes, his smirky smile, all of these elements add to his true beauty, which in the end is much greater than the dry mathematical calculations we explored at the beginning of this video. Who is James Dean to you? What does he mean in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.